I wonder if you could weigh in on the vice presidential selection, which we're going to have coming in just a few days here, whether you have concerns about the kind of person he is looking for vice president now, in comparison to the person Mike Pence he had as vice president last time.
Well, I think Trump has learned a few things in the course of his first term, and the most important thing he's learned is he wants people who are personally loyal to him, notwithstanding whatever their actual convictions may be, and that he's going to surround himself by people who are more likely to say yes, sir, than to say, well, Mr. President, here are 3 or 4 things you ought to consider before you make that decision. I think there was a mythology about how the Trump White House worked in the first term, about people putting up guardrails. Look, most of it just reflects that the same discussions that happen in other administrations to try and find the right way to achieve an objective. And there was nothing systemic or with bad motive that was part of it. So I don't think it was that much different than as I say than prior administrations. But in the second term, if the president says I want to do X, and somebody and the staff just says yes sir, then you're going to get I think pretty negative consequences from that. And I think the decision over picking the vice president is simply the first, the most important of lots of personnel decisions we're going to see as a second Trump administration fills out the political appointments in the executive branch. I really think that people don't appreciate how much Mike Pence did during the course of his vice presidency to prevent Trump from making bad decisions. It happened over and over again. The vice president's been very reluctant to talk about it. I understand that, but I was there for 17 months, and the country's a lot better off because Mike Pence was vice president. Given that loyalty is Donald Trump's personal loyalty to Donald Trump, fealty is what he wants. I'm very much afraid that what's top of mind for him as he looks at his vice presidential candidates is whether they share his view, and I think it's a cynically held view, that the election in 2020 was stolen, and will they say that publicly? And if he gave an order to them like he tried to give to Mike Pence regarding what was going to happen in Congress on January the 6th, would they obey the order? And I think anybody who answers yes to those 2 questions is sacrificing their integrity. So I'm very worried for the person who becomes vice president who has to answer those questions, and very worried about what that suggests for the rest of Trump appointments in a second term.